welcome to episode 9 of GG Weekly Podcast. I'm Chris, the Real Darth Guy. With me, I have Justin, Baggy Noodle Arms, as always. Justin, how are you doing, sir?
Pretty good today. How about yourself?
Doing really good. Pretty typical day at work for me today. A little bit busier, so I felt a little bit behind the 8 ball on setting up topics for this episode. But we, as normal, kind of brought it all back together. And, we can pretty much talk about anything for an unlimited number of hours, and we have to force ourselves to go to bed at 4 a.m. You know how that goes.
I did that last night. Went to bed at just about 4 a.m., so I feel that.
Nice. What were you doing last night at 4 a.m?
So I actually started playing Risk of Rain 2 again.
Okay.
You ever get into those games?
No, I haven't, actually.
So Risk of Rain 1 was 2D... kind of like old school Contra games, maybe. Side scroller, you get a bunch of power ups, you shoot bosses, it looks chaotic. You don't even know what's good and what's bad anymore because you're shooting so much junk around the screen.
Okay.
And then Contra 2 is, not Contra 2, Risk of Rain 2 is 3D, and it's, procedurally generated maps or whatever. And
okay.
You'd start at level 1 with no power-ups, and you get coins by killing ads or opening little boxes, and then there's chests around the map that just drop random power-ups, and you try to get as far as you can.
Okay.
It resets after 9 levels, and then you start back at whatever map was your first one, and then you kind of keep going and going and going, and everything gets harder slowly as the time ticks. Okay. And chests start costing more money.
Just a completely endless...
probably have a lot more buffs, so you're like, yeah.
Okay, pretty neat.
It's a ton of fun, but it's one of those games you're like, oh, we'll just play one more round, and a round can be until you die. So I think one of ours was like an hour and a half of one round. So
well, the gamer's poison is the saying, just one more round,
Yeah, just one more round.
And by the time you
how
realize,
many times has that kept us up all night?
You're like, why is my alarm going off? Oh, I'm supposed to be waking up right now. Oops. My bad.
Yeah, mine's usually, Becky's awake.
See in the corner of your eye, and you're like, oh no, I did it again. It happened again.
Damn it. Up all night.
Nice.
But yeah, what have you been up to all week? Week.
Pretty much work, because, like I texted you, did I text you or Discord message you? I'm like, who's the jerk who decided we were going to work 5 days and have off 2? Like, who did that? Who was like, you know what? This is a good balance of life versus work. Let's go with that. But, so it's just been work. It feels like, I guess the reason it feels that way probably is because I can't go anywhere, even though my city's opening up. Is your city opening up a little bit more?
Yeah, they opened, hairdressers, barbershops, I don't really know what else because honestly, they can open everything, and I'm probably gonna try to stay home.
Yeah, I'm gonna stay home. Even once, let's say everything was open, I would probably still stay home and have the same exact routine that we've had through this whole entire stay-at-home order. That for like 2 or 3 months to wait and see what happens with everything, because play it safe, kind of a thing. Plus, I like to play video games, so I guess staying home is kind of perfect for that, right?
Can I do a podcast indoors? Check. Can I play video games indoors? Check. Can I eat and sleep indoors? We're good.
If the weather's nice, I can open my door. Okay, we're set. We're ready to roll,
I have had the windows open every day. It's been nice here. I don't know about for you.
Yeah, it's actually, it got a little bit hot I want to say it was like over either Sunday or Monday, one of the 2 days. I had the door open, and of course, I was playing video games or whatever, and I realized that it was still like 80 degrees in the room, even with the door open into the evening. And I was like, yes, summer's coming. I'm so excited. I love hot weather, warm, just being able to keep all the windows open and have a nice breeze through the house because, you get that fresh breeze in the house and it feels nice. So,
yeah, once it gets real hot, you do the open at night and close during the day, maybe, try to trap that chilly air in.
Yeah, exactly. I keep my house a little bit on the warmer side anyways. We lived in Florida for 3 years, and my wife would always be like, it's so hot in here. Why are you keeping it so high? And I'm like, because I don't want the AC running all day. I don't know. Adult problems, right? Adult problems.
Don't touch the AC.
What are you doing? I will put a lockbox around that thing, you know? But now we have
definitely a dad thing.
The darn, we have the Nest, so you just go on an app and change it anyway, so that lockbox wouldn't really do much, but hey, whatever. I'm just happy that nowadays I don't have to go over to the thing and switch it to cool or switch it to heat. It just automatically does whatever it feels like it needs to do to keep my temperature, you know? That's kind of nice.
Mine's still like a slider, you know, the one you slide with the little orange dial.
Yep.
And that's it. That's my house. So
yeah, and then
there's
you have
no
to
air
change
conditioning.
it. Oh, really? Oh, wow.
Like we have the window ones that I drag out of the garage when it gets bad enough.
And then hope when you're putting them in, you don't drop them out the window or what have you, right? I've done that once or twice.
Yeah, we basically are on
the
life.
second floor, so it would definitely not be fun.
Yeah.
To look out below.
So speaking of opening, I don't know why this popped in my head, but an interesting thing is happening around here on Saturday. Of course, it has to be Saturday. All bars and restaurants are opening for indoor dining now.
I saw, what state was it that was all over Twitter? They opened up bars and it was like jam-packed every bar.
Yeah, who was that? I saw that as well. I want to say it was close to us, somewhere in the Northeast, but I can't remember where.
Like Idaho or something weird?
Yeah, somewhere over. But I know it's going to happen because I have a couple friends who do work at bars and things like that, so they're like forwarding the posts on from the owners saying this is our official policy and all that. And I'm reading these policies and I'm just going, it's never going to work. It's never going to work. They're putting this out there so they can say they have a policy, but if you were to drive by the place, it'll be packed like it was before any of this happened, you know, instantly, just right when they open too. People are going to be waiting in their cars outside like it's a shopping event, you know?
So excited. I think some of our malls even opened here too. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, not to do politics with us. Obviously, we don't really get super into that, but
right.
I don't know. I mean, you hear both sides that it's not as bad as they say it is. It's crazy bad. We should all be locked up forever. I don't know. I just kind of I play it safe because I'd rather be wrong and be safe than be outdoors and be wrong, right?
I mean, I don't want to get sick regardless. So like,
yeah,
you know, when the flu season is at its peak, I'm like, maybe we just stay home. I don't know. Let's order in or something. You know, it's just one of those things where I don't really want to get the COVID. You know, is that how we say it now? Get the COVID? Do I sound like an old grandma yet?
Get the COVID. It's like the Facebook and the Google.
Yeah. If you want to sound old, just either put the in front of it or put an S on the end of it when it doesn't need an S. You pretty much got the formula.
Are you using the Facebooks, the Walmarts?
Walmart.
I actually just saw somebody like write Walmart on Facebook. I think it was with two L's. You know, Walmart.
Yeah. That's where I go to buy my walls, man. Load them up in the truck.
Maybe they were. That could have been what they were talking about. Maybe they really went to buy some walls.
They wanted to be like a Home Depot competitor. I don't know. Anyway, we're getting into weirdness now, right? Yeah, man.
What have you been playing? What have you been doing?
Oh, man, I am still so addicted to Call of Duty Warzone. I've been playing a little bit more of just Call of Duty multiplayer as well, because like trying to level up weapons and stuff like that, of course. But man, I don't know what it is about Call of Duty. So me and my family play this little game during dinner time. It's just like a table subjects or whatever. It's like these little cards, and there's a bunch of different ones, and you just shuffle it up and you pull up whatever card, and then you go around the table and talk about whatever subjects on the card, right? Just so we're not sitting there just listening to each other chew, because that's the most irritating sound on the planet. But anyway.
Don't even get me into that one. We literally either have the TV or the radio running every time we eat in this house because it drives me crazy.
Because, I just I can't deal with it. But so the card for what is your all-time favorite video game came up this past time we ate, yesterday actually. And I was like, man, this is a hard question for me, because there's like a tier list that I have. You have your top 5, your top 10 video games, and then you're like, okay, but if I had to pick one for multiplayer, if I had to pick one for story, and like everything changes there, So when I had to think of my all-time favorite, I was like, oh man, this is really difficult. And this is going to sound absolutely insane, but I picked Call of Duty. And I didn't really. As I was thinking about it, I was like, okay, so I remember great moments in GoldenEye because of sleepovers with friends, playing with a bunch of buddies, things like that, which I get from Call of Duty now, just online version, you know? And I was like,
True.
okay, I love Horizon Zero Dawn because of the story and the feel of the gameplay. And I was like, well, Call of Duty's stories have also been good in some of the iterations of these games, you know? And I don't know, I kind of went, you know, and it's every single time a Call of Duty comes out, I'm at least a little bit interested, if not completely invested in it. And so I just for that conversation, I was like, I think it's Call of Duty. I've played it for so many years.
It. Because when we did the game episode 4 or whatever, it was Horizon Zero Dawn. Was that supposed to be our favorite game, or was that just a game?
I think so. That was the game. It was describe your favorite game badly.
Okay, so it was favorite.
When we did the favorite. It's still like Horizon Zero Dawn is still my favorite. But the weird thing is like, it was. Since I had to quantify it and I started thinking about multiple aspects of it and not just like snap judgment, what's your favorite game kind of a thing, I like convinced myself that Call of Duty was that game for me. And I know that sounds
as
weird
you said,
because
there's layers, right? Yeah. Like there's so many layers.
Yeah.
You could like be like favorite action, favorite shooter. You could get into like categories. You could do favorite time errors. You could do, as you said, multiplayer, because some like games that aren't as good are way more fun if they have multiplayer.
Oh yeah.
Like if a game's not good and it's in single player, it's one of those games you played for 5 minutes and you uninstalled or you put on the shelf.
Yeah.
But if it had multiplayer, you may have played it again because
or like
a friend came over.
I mean, look at some of those absolutely horrible games that are just hilarious to play with other people. So they're like a great game. So the game itself, like the gameplay is not very amazing. There's really no story, but you just have a really, really good time playing. One of those games for me is, you know, those top-down Lara Croft games, like Temple of Osiris and stuff like that. I
have them and never played them.
They're not fabulous games at all. Like, they're fun, and they seem like a game that you would pop into like a Dave and Buster's, and they'd have that there to eat your quarters, you know, or eat your cash card.
Okay. Yeah.
But like, the reason I love that game so much is because that's one of the first games that I ever did a whole family game night, where it was me, the 2 kids, and the wife all playing 4 players at the same time, going through this entire game together. So even though I look at the game and go, that game was it was all right, it's still one of my favorite games just because of that experience that I had, because it made it fun to play. And it was when my daughter was really, really young, and it was like her first game that she was able to really go through. So it was like teaching her gaming, you know? So like me, my son, and my wife are all like teaching her how to play video games through this game. And now she's a gamer. She likes Fortnite though. You know, I diss on her for Fortnite, and I like Call of Duty. What am I talking about?
Yeah. Which one is bigger on, Battle Royale? I think it might. I mean, maybe not anymore, but
I think
know if
Fortnite's
been as big as Fortnite.
Yeah, I see. Here's the thing: is that I think everyone at least dabbles in Fortnite. Like, even I don't like it, but I'll dabble in it once in a while because like the kids will really want to play, and I'm like, fine, whatever.
Free to play, cross-platform. You can run it on a laptop. You can run it on a mobile phone, actually.
I mean, yeah, like my kids play it on well, they play it on their iPads. They don't have phones, but they play it on the iPad all the time. And I mean, it's not a fabulous looking experience. It looks like it's like 30 frames per second, but it's still Fortnite. It's still playing the full game. And you can connect a PlayStation controller to the iPads too. So
that is new. That's
playing
it came out with Apple Arcade.
Yeah, it did. And they're just playing it right on their iPads. The headset's plugged into the iPad and everything, and they're just going. So kind of interesting.
They're basically cheaters using a controller. No.
Right. They're do iPad players pair with console and PC and stuff? Is it like just a global pool, or is it mobile and then like others, if you will?
If what I think I know is correct, then you face your platform unless you're playing crossplay. Then you're just in the pool of anyone playing crossplay.
Okay, yeah,
so like, I would only play PC players until I teamed up with like someone on a mobile phone, and then I might play a mobile phone player.
Okay, that makes sense. That's kind of cool.
That's my understanding. I don't have proof of that, but
right,
and it makes the most sense.
Do they have the icons like Call of Duty? When you get in a cross-play lobby, it has like the Steam icon with a mouse or a controller if they're using a controller, etc. Okay.
I don't know if they have them for enemies. I know for a fact they have them for your teammates though.
Okay. Man, crossplay. I love crossplay so much. Like,
We could get a lot into that. I think I hate it.
what? Really?
I know.
See, here's
I
the
know.
thing. I wouldn't be able to play with a lot of the people. Actually, my whole squad that I play with on a nightly basis. One's on Xbox. Well, I guess no.
Okay.
The Cooch, which he's always in my squad, he switched to PC, but he was on PlayStation. The Don is on PlayStation. I've got a bunch of buddies over there. Like, without the ability to crossplay, like that's another thing that Call of Duty pushes me towards is because my buddy Dago, he doesn't have a lot of the other games. So Call of Duty is pretty much the only game that we can play together because that's what we have. And
I just
with
don't think I like it because of complaints. Like I'm just sick of hearing the arguments of. I mean, I think it's more controller on PC is what's bothering me, right? Like you hear the aim assist battle every day, and you hear the.
you do. I always say
I just get sick of it.
my saying is aim assist is aimbot.
I mean,
It
you're not wrong,
is.
right? That's a true fact. It's
and then
somewhat needed, but it is.
I used to play. I played Ghost Recon in single player games with no auto aim, for the sheer fact that like if you're aiming at a corner, we've talked about this I think before. Even if you're aiming at a corner and then like an enemy runs by, you're like, no, I don't want to get pulled off of this spot. I know this guy's face is going to pop out and I can shoot him. Like I want to stay there. But I tried way back in the day. Me and my buddies tried no auto aim or no aim assist on Call of Duty. Just like in a, just a private lobby. We're all like, everyone turn off aim assist. We were all on PlayStation. We turned it off. We couldn't kill each other. Like it was just a running around. Like we ended up just punching each other half the time because we're like, I can't shoot you. It's too difficult to track you because you adjust the controller so that you can move fast enough to track them, and then you just spin in a circle. Or if you adjust it low enough to where you actually have fine control, they can run by you and you're still looking straight, and you're like, this is just terrible. So it's needed. It's 100% needed on a controller. But and then the controller people are complaining right now about it's either PC players are hackers and cheaters, or the mouse and keyboard are just too good. They have too much accuracy. And you're like, weren't you guys just saying how you could whoop on us PC players, if we were all paired together? What's going on here? Like,
it's always a battle where if we were just like separate, and I'm glad controller support's a thing, because I mean, like you said, my main person I play is Postal. We're both on PC, but he uses a controller for every game. So
yeah, I mean, if you're more comfortable with a controller, who cares? Like, who cares what your control scheme is? It's just
right.
There's always that argument of like, and I do it sometimes too, where I can see the auto aim correcting for people, and I'm like, oof, that one hurts. That wasn't them. They didn't do that.
It's always just a tough call of right. It's that frustration of I technically was like doing more work or like being more accurate, and I maybe lost the fight because the controller was doing more of work for them. And it's like I said, there's no perfect answer for that, because like you said, you turn it off and you're spinning in circles almost, or put it on and now it feels like they're cheating.
Right. You're like, the computer is literally aiming for you. Stop. God. I mean, I think it would be fine, honestly, if that flame war wasn't happening. So like if we just eventually we'll just be comfortable with it and be like, okay, whatever. Controller has aim assist, it needs it. PC doesn't. We have more pinpoint accuracy at distance and things like that. So there's benefits both ways, but like everyone was clamoring and like, oh, I can't believe we can't have crossplay. I can't believe we can't do all these things. And then we get it and they're like, I don't want it anymore. No, I don't want it. And then
I think in a competitive atmosphere, crossplay doesn't make a ton of sense. But in any other atmosphere, I think it's perfectly fine. I mean, if I want to play a story game with my friend on a different system, like I'm not hurting anything. Doesn't matter what they have.
I'd agree with that. So if let's say non-ranked modes, just the casual for fun modes, you can crossplay and it doesn't matter what you're using. But in like a ranked mode, you're like, okay, let's play ranked against mouse and keyboard players, and then there's controller players and etc. Is that what you're saying?
Potentially, yeah. I mean, I don't know. Like I said, it's tough because like I want to play with somebody who uses a controller, and that's who I want to play with, and I don't.
And now
want
you're
to be
locked
like,
out.
Oh, you can't.
Yeah.
So you can never win. You either just have to deal with. I would rather deal with what we deal with now and be able to play with the people I want to play with than.
Yeah. Like, I'm 100%
and have the sweat fest lobby that's perfectly all keyboard and mouse.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one. It's just unfortunate.
I'm not a pro, so it doesn't matter. I'm gonna lose half my games anyway.
I'm a nighttime and weekends gamer, anyways. So whatever, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Keep it.
What?
Keep crossplay. Our official vote is keep it. No.
Keep it.
Yeah,
so yeah,
right.
what games have you been playing all week besides Call of Duty? Anything else, or is that it?
Well, so I started Dying Light a little bit. Been kind of dipping my toes in there.
I got it on. Yeah,
I got it on GOG for like $17 for like the ultimate whatever enhanced edition thing. And I liked that game a lot on PS4, but I never completed it. And since it's a shooter, I'm actually a little bit more excited to play it on the PC just because the mouse and keyboard, like the precision aiming and stuff like that, being able to take out the zombie hordes, you know?
Yeah.
Grand Theft Auto 5, because we got it for free, which it's still for free if any PC people out there, go grab it.
It is. For another day or two?
I think it's till the 22nd, so I think we have all day today and all day tomorrow to get it still.
And then it's saying mystery game next, so hopefully something cool.
Yeah. I've been going back into Grand Theft Auto, and I forgot how much I really love that game. Honestly, like just the sandboxness of Grand Theft Auto Online is just so amazing. Like you just kind of feel like you're living in the world. Like you're just there doing whatever you want, you know?
Tomorrow at 11 a.m. So if you are hearing this podcast anywhere besides Twitch, you are too late. Sorry.
You are too late. Sorry. Yeah. But
14 hours, we'll get a new game. So
we wanted to talk a little bit about the difference between recording, and apparently Streamlabs is also not participating today. So, but streaming versus recording when you're doing videos, because you had a little bit of an experience at your previous job where you had to do a recorded, what would you say, advertisement?
Yeah, so we were recording for a YouTube video, basically, tutorials on how to set up our product. How to place the product, how to use the product, yada yada. And I kind of got surprised into being the, I don't know if you will, the content creator of the thing.
I was the talent.
Yeah, I was the talent they hired to make the video.
The free talent that you didn't get any extra money.
We had, yeah, exactly. No extra money, no training, probably can't put it on my resume. Who knows? But basically, I had to off the cuff kind of explain how to set up this device, and just, I don't know, recording YouTube videos. And I've done it for people too. Like someone will request like, hey, I'm trying to get people talking about this for a birthday video or for, I don't know, whatever it is. Record yourself and send it in. And I don't know what it is, man, but recording off stream, like not live, is so damn awkward.
Do you agree? Yes. And the weird thing is that I did kind of settle in with it. So I was doing a bunch of YouTube tutorials, and I was doing the driving with Darth and all that stuff. So in the beginning, it was a struggle just to, like, I'd hit record on my phone or on the camera, whatever I was setting up at the time, and my mind would just go blank. And I'd be like, wait, what am I talking about? I would completely forget things. And after a while, you do settle in a little bit more. But one thing I noticed is that I can't script anything. I can't. Like, I have to be able to just talk. And I know the subject matter, and I know basically a couple of little tidbits that I want to hit on, but I just need to go. Every single time I did a script.
So luckily at work, we had a whiteboard behind the camera. So, like, if they wanted a specific word, or if there was just a word I was getting caught up on, I'd have them write just that word on the board. So it was not a script still. It was just like, maybe a technical term or something that I needed to kind of hit on. And that helped. But like you said, I don't want to read what I'm saying. I don't want to just like read off the board or my paper or card or whatever.
You read a paragraph of text, and then you have to regurgitate that whole entire paragraph the way it was written there. I don't know. Like, I wrote one single script for a YouTube video. I never released the YouTube video because as I glued it together, I'm like, this is the worst video I've ever made. Like, it's terrible. So
I think it just doesn't come out natural. Like, it doesn't sound like you because you didn't say the words. You thought the words and wrote them, which probably are slightly different.
I agree, because like when I think about a subject, so let's say I want to make a YouTube video about noise gate. We'll just use that video that I did. When I was thinking about it, I go, okay, I know I want to hit on these specific little tidbits here, but like the video ended up being longer than I anticipated it because, you know, I'm a talker. I don't know if anyone can tell. I can talk a little bit and it just comes out naturally. I don't know why, but I wasn't able to. I wasn't able to ever script it because I would read it and you could tell like my enunciation was different, my pacing of the sentences were different, like everything was just really, really awkward feeling and looking too. So, I mean, I prefer streaming. If I, you know, if I could stream everything,
I don't know why. I guess because it just feels like real life. Like I'm almost just sitting and having a conversation versus like. I know for a fact when I'm on YouTube or whatever, making a video, there's nobody else there in that moment. Like I literally am talking to myself. Where Twitch, I mean, maybe you have no viewers and you're talking to yourself, but like the idea is somebody can hear you right then.
You are.
So you can talk.
You are entertaining and you are interacting.
Yeah.
Whereas YouTube, the interaction. So you film this giant thing. You throw it out there to the world, and then you interact through text about the subject that you were talking about. So it's a much different feel to it, and it's just I don't like it as much.
I will say, like 2 years ago, I tried to do like like I said, like record little clips of myself talking like this or whatever, and it was terrible. And for work, I definitely felt more natural than I think it's just from streaming a bunch and doing like this and stuff. Because I was doing it with a girl who was also like one of the actress of the video or whatever, and the talent. She you could tell like she wasn't comfortable with. She probably doesn't stream on Twitch or whatever. So
in my mind right now, I'm just picturing those bad QVC like infomercials where the two people are obviously not like normally on camera and presenting things. I'm just for some reason I'm picturing you and this girl like kind of doing one of those awkward poses like here's the product we want.
It was pretty close. It was 3 marketing people with like this big recording camera. They were all sitting behind it watching us. Act out the thing too, so like it felt even worse. They had 3 of those giant spotlight probably what you use for lighting and stuff like on us, and it just felt like intimidating.
That's awesome. That's hilarious. I mean, since I don't like recording, I mean I've kind of stopped making YouTube content even a little bit. You said you did YouTube before, right? What made you?
I never actually did YouTube. I've uploaded like clips or like I sent you. We'll probably try to post it on our Twitter or something. I actually sent Darth the video that we talked about last week of my PUBG not loading and Luke's PUBG loading.
That video, level. You need to post it because that video is awesome. It's so good.
I'll probably upload it to a different YouTube, maybe our YouTube. I'll throw it on there or something because it's on a personal YouTube and I don't know why, but I probably won't send that out.
No, that's fine. Yeah, you throw it on GG Weekly.
Yeah, we'll get it on someone and then send it out because it is funny. It's a little long because there's like filler parts in the middle that we could probably crop if we really wanted, but
it's only 5 minutes and there's some good stuff in between. So people honking outside.
But I have been wanting to do YouTube more like lately. I think because I'm actually following my schedule on Twitch for once. Everybody,
wait, whoa!
Me.
We need a slow golf clap for that one. Holy cow!
It's been I think three in a row that I've gone live at my scheduled time.
At your regularly scheduled hours, which are what is your schedule? Because I only knew about Fridays pretty much, and that's it.
It's Tuesday, Friday, 6 to like the ending time's kind of on the wherever it wants to be, but like 6 to 9 is like the schedule, and then it says end whenever.
Yeah, if you're in the middle of some exciting Crucible match or whatever you're doing at the time, you're not going to be like, oh, it's time to go. See ya.
Especially a Friday, like my friends are staying up all night. I'm gonna stay up all night. If we're still having energy, we'll continue to stream.
Why not, right?
That's fine. So YouTube is on my mind a little. A little bit.
I'm trying to come up with a way where I can pull some clips from my actual stream, but gaming content on YouTube doesn't get really attention. Most of the content that you get on YouTube that really gets attention is like tutorials and educational type stuff right now.
I was gonna say they can be gaming, but they're usually like guides or like this build is really good, or maybe if it's like some crazy amount of kills that I don't know, world record kills or something in a match. Like that'll get some views. I think other than that, unless you're big on Twitch or just like an esports player,
I'd agree there. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, someone will watch Ninja put out any video he wants because it's Ninja.
I'll actually.
In the Tap Man.
So I like to watch Dr. Disrespect sometimes, but I enjoy his YouTube channel a little bit more because then you get like the exciting bits. You don't get any of that just fluffer in the middle where he's running in a BR for 20 minutes and does nothing. Literally nothing happens, and you're like, okay, well that was boring. So the YouTube videos are nice because it's like, okay, well I get to see what he did yesterday, but only the highlight portions. Nice and concise, quick 20-minute video, something like that.
What I find interesting, I think you prefer, like, if you were to sit down and watch Twitch or YouTube, right? Like, if I was like, hey, today you have, I don't know, a couple hours to watch whatever you want. It sounds like you'd probably spend the time on YouTube over Twitch. Is that correct?
I might agree with that. So I think I quoted in one of our previous episodes where YouTube is like I'm actively seeking content to watch. I want to go watch something. I'm going to go to YouTube, kind of like you'd go to Netflix or Hulu or something. You'd find something specific that you want to watch. Whereas Twitch, I treat it kind of like turning on the TV in the background, and I don't really want to have to channel surf ever. And I'm like, okay, I know this guy's going to be live for the amount of time that I want to watch this for 3 hours, whatever. So I turn on Dr. Lupo, or I turn on Disrespect, or I turn on someone, and I just kind of let it just play while I'm doing my work on my work computer, or whatever. But yeah, YouTube I treat as I need to go find something. I'm gonna go search for this, and then maybe fall into the rabbit hole of suggested videos.
Okay.
But
I mean, that's definitely right. I mean, if I want, like we said earlier, if I want a guide on, like, I don't know, how to beat this boss in whatever game, like, obviously I'm not going to Twitch. That's not even gonna work. I'm gonna have to go to someone playing the thing and like type in their chat, hey, can you tell me how to beat this boss? Like,
yeah, that is weird.
It'd be way easier to just go on YouTube and search how to beat whoever. So in that case, of course I'd go to YouTube. I almost never watch YouTube for like entertainment value. Okay. Like, if I'm on YouTube, I am searching for a guide. I am searching for, I don't know, how to fix something in my house, whatever it is. Every now and again, if somebody I like follow and care about on the internet posts on Twitter, they're doing a YouTube video, I'll go watch it, a montage or whatever. I mean, even like, so today Tim hit 200,000, Tim the Tap Man hit 200,000 subscribers on YouTube, I think it was.
Okay, wow.
2 million? 200,000? I feel like it has to be higher than 200.
I think it was 2 million subscribers. I want to say he was talking about it yesterday. I stopped by his stream, I believe.
Yeah, 2 million makes a lot more sense. Either way, he came out with a, basically like a over the years video montage of since he started streaming. It was him with like long hair all the way to now. Nice. It was a cool video. He watched it live on stream today, and like that's one of those things that it'd be cool to watch on YouTube. For me though, I think I like Twitch because even those moments, like there are moments that were in the clips that I was there live for, and I was like, oh my gosh, I was there for that. That was hilarious. And like in the moment, I remember the chat going crazy. I remember like the before and after, not just the like 10-second clip or whatever. So it's like you get some of those really cool moments. Like you feel almost closer to the event, like you were. That actually
brings up an interesting thought in my mind. Is when I want to interact with the content creator, I go to Twitch and I'll actually interact and type in chat and interact with other people in chat and stuff. But like YouTube, I never ever comment on videos. Like the most I'll ever do is I'll like it because I'm like, oh, I like this video. I want to be able to come back to it at some other point. So that's like almost a mark this video for me as something that I've watched in the past, But I also feel bad sometimes. Like I know lurking is like a normal thing and that's still showing support and stuff like that, but it almost feels weird for me to lurk. Like if I'm playing a game, like you were streaming the other day and I was playing Call of Duty at the time, and then like I'm in a portion of the match and I hear you say my name and I'm like, ah, shit, I can't answer. I'm like, what am I going to do, So it's...
Yeah. No, I get that because I'm like, that's basically my number one hobby is lurking streams while I game, right? Yeah. So, I mean, it's definitely weird. Like you have to it depends what you're doing. If I'm sitting there playing a single player game, whoever I feel like watching, I'll just put on like a low volume, and then I probably can just pause the game and type, or maybe it's 5 minutes later, but I at least get back to them. But yeah, I mean, if I'm in comp or Call of Duty with 3 friends or whatever it is, like, I probably say hi. I probably kind of say, all right, I'm gonna go play my game, because they can't. If they call me out, I'm not gonna answer. And that's, like you said, that's weird for everybody. Like, I don't want them to mistakenly think
because then
they can like have like
then the poor streamer's like, so Noodles, and asks you a question, and then you're just never answer, and they're like, well, that didn't go well. Crap.
I mean, we've all done it, right? Of course, 1,000 times. Every stream, there's like 10 different people that I'll be like, hey, how's it going? And who knows where they went, and that's fine. They went to eat, they went to the bathroom, they hated my stream and they left. I mean, that's fine.
I mean, as recommended, I don't keep my watchers list or my viewers up there, so I never know when people pop in or leave or anything. I'm just assuming that once you're there forever. No. But
I think people are still in my chat waiting. Like,
yeah,
they better be, right?
You showed up. You better be sitting there watching with popcorn and all that stuff. Like, watch my stream. No. So,
yeah, have it up on a TV permanently in your house.
Please just buy another TV and keep me up there all the time. Just 100% all the time.
Real quick before we jump topics, I'll say hi to some of the chat. We got Nerdy Corn Girl. You mentioned her. Baggy. I'm Binks, which used to be the Big Cheese Ball for anyone who knows him, and Nolly's TV. So hello, thanks guys for hanging out with the live stream and giving us some conversation. Maybe we did have pancakes or waffles as a topic in here, so I don't know if we want to hit that.
There's no competition. It's French toast, obviously.
Ooh, I like. You know what? Give me all 3 on the same plate.
Okay.
I don't even care. Anything drenched in syrup is great, right? Like,
I like blueberry syrup and stuff like that, like not just the straight maple stuff, but yeah.
Oh, see, I like maple, real maple though, not Aunt Jemima. Like, I want it straight from the tree.
Do you consider French toast sticks French toast as well?
Yeah, I mean the same thing.
So
they just cut
I've been in a conversation with a few people that are like, that's not French toast anymore, and I'm like, well, what is it then? And they're like,
so if I cut your peanut butter and jelly sandwich into strips, what does it become?
Peanut butter and jelly sticks? I don't even know what the logic. Yeah, what is that, right? Yeah,
it's the same thing. That's like almost identical. Cutting a sandwich.
I actually
into
like
strips.
the French toast sticks because they're crispy all the way around instead of just like on 2 sides of it. I like that portion because the sweet and chewy kind of a texture flavor mix. I don't know.
I guess on the other side of the argument there is like, I guess like, I don't know, a baked potato and baked French fries are like, I guess the same food.
Considered something significantly different, yeah. Or actually, if you fry like sticks of potato, it's French fries. But if they're cubes, it's what do they call those, home fries or whatever? Like you normally eat those with breakfast. Isn't that weird that
potato's probably the most amount of foods? Like, they're all just a potato.
Just in so many different ways. Like
hash browns, home fries, French fries, baked potato.
Well, and then you can combine like the baked potato with the mashed potato, and you throw the mashed potatoes back in and put toppings on it, and then you have the little what are the twice baked potato? You know what I'm talking about? Like the crispy skins, and then they're all filled with it. Yep. And now I'm getting hungry. See what we've done.
Ancient bread.
Welcome.
They've talked potatoes.
Apparently,
the
food
chat,
talk is the money.
We are now a potato stream, and that is it.
That sounds funny because you normally refer to things like potato photos because terrible stuff. But hey, whatever.
Yeah, potato gamers.
So I wanted to ask you a question because you were talking about you finally kept a schedule, or you're keeping your schedule now. So let's talk about stream schedules a little bit, because I get that question quite a bit, and like not necessarily directed at me, but like it's posted to Reddit, or it's generally in the Gen Chat, or build your stream up kind of channels in Discord, and everyone always recommends you keep a schedule. And then like I agree with that 100%, because predictability is nice for people to know when you're going to be live, instead of being like, oh well, he's live now, oh well, he's live over here now, never knowing. How do you go about picking yours? What in your mind was like, this is why I'm going to stream this day, and not every day? Well, every day's too much. It's burnout.
So you kind of hit on something earlier that I didn't actually say in this podcast, so I'll just say it because I don't mind. You said my former job was the video. So as of Thursday, I was laid off. So I'm not working there anymore. Obviously wasn't the case last Wednesday. So before that, though, is, where I made my schedule was before when I had work. So obviously it couldn't be during work hours. And then the other part was I kind of talked to Baggy, my fiance, and made sure, there wasn't days that she wanted or like to spend with me, or days that, or whatever, we have something going on. Tuesdays has always in my world been my game day. Like any other day anybody can take. If Tuesday I want a game, like everybody has to be okay with that, because it's always been reset in Destiny. So it's been 5 years.
That makes sense.
Resets in Destiny. So Tuesdays for me became a stream day. If I'm gonna always game on a Tuesday, I might as well always stream if I'm gonna do it, right? So that's where Tuesday came from. Friday was that's usually final day of the week. I can stay up as long as I want. I usually have a little more energy because I'm excited for a weekend, but it's not the weekend yet. Like I don't have to worry about like family parties or anything like that. It's still Friday. People still work. So those are the only 2 days I picked, and it was just 6. That gives me time to eat dinner and get on the stream before I'm too tired. And then, like I said, 2 to 3 hours is like the least you really want to do. Probably 2 hours.
2 hours
is
pretty short. Yeah.
So 2 to 3 hours, and that was my schedule. And then this show on Wednesday, that was factored in on this new schedule as well. Right. So
I mean, I used to try to do the Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday thing for my streams all the time back in the day, and then I would also try to do Saturday and Sunday. So I'd have 2 days off. That's it, of streaming, and you just get burnt out. Like, and then we actually hit on this one time before, where I still wanted to keep gaming as a hobby, like, because when you're streaming, you're entertaining. You're talking to chat. I mean, you don't have to, but if you're being a proper host, I guess I would say you have to. But like, you're kind of on a different level of gaming when you're on stream than when you're off stream.
Well, yeah, you're not asking your friend that you're playing with, like, how his mom's doing, how his dad's doing, like, how's his, like, you're streaming. You're not, so you don't get to like actually be like a non-gaming friend when you're streaming. So for me, I agree. Like a day or two to play games with whoever I want, and if we want to talk about real life, like that we wouldn't talk about on stream, that's personal,
then you can.
You could do that.
I mean, me picking a schedule, it took a while. I altered it recently. So I used to stream on Sundays, and I hate streaming on Sundays because it's the exact opposite of your mindset for Fridays. Where Fridays you're like, okay, I'm done with the work week. I'm going into the weekend. I'm free. I obviously don't have anything going on Friday during the day because I got off work, etc. So you just start streaming that night. Sundays were the opposite for me, where I was like, well, sometimes I have to alter plans because I'm like, well, I'm supposed to be going streaming at this time. I didn't like doing that. And then also, like, there's that thing about Sunday nights that for me is just like, I just want to turn on the TV, sit in the living room, and just kind of mentally prepare myself for the work week that's coming up, So I
in our house, we call those the Sunday
scaries. Okay. So we've got the Sunday scaries.
Yeah. But you're kind of like just about Monday and the work week.
Isn't that weird?
You're just kind of like bummed out about.
Isn't that weird? Week. Like the feeling that you get on like a Sunday, it normally happens when like it starts to get dusk, the sun starts to go down, and I'm like, oh no. It's almost over. No, my weekend.
It's like, it's one of the worst feelings, and sometimes it's not even a big deal. Like, like work's not that bad, or it's a short work week anyway, and like it's like the second Sunday night hits, you're like, well, I don't want to do anything.
So that's an interesting thing, because I've talked to a bunch of people, because I'll complain about work or something like that on a weekend when we're at a party or something, or, well, used to be at a party. Now I just talk to people in games, but I'm like, I got to go to work on tomorrow if it's Sunday. And they're like, but I thought you loved your job. And I'm like, I do. Don't get me wrong. I love my job. But it's still a job. It's still not me waking up Monday morning going, what do I want to do today? Like, I love what I do for a living, but I don't want to, like, it's weird because when you work in the industry that you love, you're still having someone say, you have to do this. This is your assignment. You don't get to just do Unless you work for yourself, of course. You don't just get to like, oh, I want to make this app today, or I want to make this website today. You don't get to make those choices. You go in and you're like, well, I have all these things that I have to do, even though they're in the realm of things that I love. It's kind of a weird thing. I'm like, 100%. You know, it's still a job. Until I retire, I'm still gonna on Sunday night go, ugh, work. Darn it.
So you did alter your schedule, and I'm curious, like, did you notice viewership change because of the schedule? Obviously, there's other things in the world that factor into those things, but did you like for sure notice like dropping Sundays got me less views, more views? Sundays I always had no views anyway. Whatever
Sundays were actually a weird day because there were times where Sunday was absolutely packed, and then there were other times where Sunday was absolutely zippo. And so Sundays were the most inconsistent day out of all of the days. And I don't know if it's just because people have stuff going on, closing out their weekend or whatever, but I think that streaming during the week has actually been better for me, just the 2 days, because I'm only on Tuesday and Thursday now, and that's it. Well, of course, Wednesday as well, but like,
right.
I feel like it's been better for me. Not only... I don't know if it's because of the schedule or if it's just because like I am more energized to stream. I'm excited to stream. Like when Tuesday rolls around, it's been so long since Thursday that I'm like, yes, I get to stream tonight. It's not like, oh, I have to stream tonight. Darn. Like I'm excited to get on stream and I'm excited to talk to the people and I'm excited to squad up and get into some Call of Duty matches. You know, it's a different mindset for me now. So I think that it helped me, but I don't think it was necessarily because of the schedule change. I think it was just because of how it changed me mentally for the schedule. But
you used to do morning streams, if I'm not mistaken, as well, right?
So when I first came back, I was doing Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday nights, and then I was doing Monday, Wednesday, Friday mornings. So I would wake up, because I wake up at like 6:15, somewhere around there, and you know I'd take my shower and I have to be at work at 9 o'clock. So I'm like, well, I have all this time in the morning and I play games in the morning. So I started to stream it in the morning as well. And it was just one of those decisions. The reason I stopped is because the viewership was pretty low. Most people would be, you know, turning on the stream while on their drive to work, kind of like, because I do a lot of chatting, as you know. And it was just one of those things where it started to feel like a chore. And right when it started to feel like a chore, I was like, I got to cut those out. That's like in the morning when if I don't feel like taking a shower right away, I don't have to. Like I always play games in the morning because I always want to start my day with something that I want to do rather than starting with work kind of a thing. But the moment that I decided that it was feeling like a chore, I cut it off right there. But that was too much.
That's an interesting, because I can't even wake up in the morning. Like I'm one of those, I wake up, like when I work, I wake up, I throw a bagel in, get dressed while the bagel's cooking. It pops, I cream cheese it, and I run out the door with the bagel. Like, that's my day. That's my morning, you know? So I can't even imagine. It's probably feels nice to get up and do something you want to do, but to me, it's like, that's an extra hour I could have slept, or 2 hours.
Yeah, my routine, it's just I wake up, let the dogs out, of course, take a quick shower, and then, you know, I'll hit the button on the PC, and while it does the startup, because I shut it down every night, I'll go make a G Fuel or make a tea or whatever I want for my drink in the morning, and then start up a game. Typically it's been like The Division, just kind of roaming around, just free roaming in the world. Lately it's been Grand Theft Auto, and then sometimes I'll play Call of Duty, but I did notice that Call of Duty gets me a little worked up in the mornings. So like when I get to work, I'm kind of like high strung a little bit more. So I stopped playing that as often, just because, I don't know, the Call of Duty mindset, I guess, when you're taking it too seriously.
Yeah, I asked about the morning because I was kind of considering, you know, like I said, I'm laid off now. I have a little more time. I'm even debating adding extra days of streaming or something. And I've been kind of considering, I have the most energy probably, you know, 10, 11 in the morning, if we're being real. Like when I used to work at 9.
That's actually an interesting fact.
I'm used to that.
Devin Nash. Do you know who Devin Nash is by chance?
The name sounds real familiar, but I can't.
He does a lot of the business side of Twitch. Actually, it's pretty interesting to watch his YouTube videos. I don't really watch his live streams because he cuts it up and then puts it on YouTube, and I enjoy that more. And it's a chatting podcast, but it's about the business side of Twitch. And he says that realistically, the best time for any streamer to be streaming is right in the hours that you just quoted. Start at 10 o'clock, stream for 4-ish hours, and then shut it down.
It makes sense. That's when everybody's at work. That's when probably 75% of the people can't stream because
they're at work.
Maybe not right now. This time kind of destroys some of those facts probably, but yeah, I know a lot of people. I mean, Tim does the 10 to 2 and then does again at night, or he was back in the day. And I know like a Destiny guy who does a morning shift, and it does seem like there's like almost a niche for that as well. Morning.
It wouldn't hurt to give it a shot for a while. When I did, right at the beginning of this COVID situation, when we first got the stay-at-home orders, I went on a staycation. It wasn't planned to be only stay-at-home, but it was a staycation, and I considered actually just trying to do that every single day and try to see if I got more viewers or if anything changed using those hours. I never really got to it because, well, mentally I was on vacation, so I'm like, I'm just gonna not whatever. But I
think what's making me nervous is obviously my viewership for 2 years. I've never been live in the morning. True. Like, so those people in theory would show up because they expect me live at, I don't know, sometime after 5 p.m.,
True.
6 p.m.
One thing that I do every once in a while is, if I'm not really decided if I want to watch a YouTube video or listen to a podcast, I'll go onto Twitch and just because I follow all the games that I typically play, just so I can see the numbers, right?
Yep.
So I look in the actual viewer numbers. They're significantly lower, which is good for you because then you can kind of compete a little bit in some of the games. You can be on the first page, maybe the second page, and then obviously a lot of those 0 viewer streams at the very bottom of the list. A lot of those people are the people that work 9 to 5s. They have. That's the reason that their stream isn't really taken off, is because they're like, well, I can only stream at certain times, and it is what it is, and everyone else is online. So if you do give it a shot, you gotta look at the numbers for a little while and see if it actually does help. Ancient Bread in the chat saying EU viewers. I have a couple of viewers that do stop into my streams, but it's midnight for them. They're like, I'm just stopping by to say hi before I go to bed, and I'm like, okay, thanks, but
I'll probably get a test run, like you said. So I just for right now just clicked show more, people live that I follow, and I had to click it 2 or 3 times to show everybody live right now. But I wake up in the morning, 8, 9, 10 o'clock. I log on and there's 5 people that I follow streaming, and that might just be the people I like, but it's still interesting that it seems like nobody's live in the morning. So like you said, you're not really competing as much. So I'll give it a go. I'll let you guys know. Maybe you can all tell your bosses you have to work at night now, because
Noodle said streaming in the morning is the way to go.
Like Corn said, I am not a morning person, so it will be like maybe 10, but I'm not waking up at 6 like Darth over here to get my Call of Duty on.
I don't know what happened. It's probably just... My dad wakes up at 4 in the morning, and I'm like, you're crazy. And he's like, you're already waking up at 6. You're on your way there. And I'm like, you're so right. I don't like it. But I don't know. It's just my body naturally just wakes up at that time. And
I'm jealous. I've been waking up at 9 without an alarm clock most days. Even I went to bed at 4 a.m. last night, and I woke up this morning at 8:30, 9 o'clock without a problem. So I guess, if you get used to any time, eventually it kind of settles in, but I've just never been a morning person.
You mentioned the follower list. I'm so irritated with that follower list on that side. I want to be able to rearrange it. I don't like that it's always the highest numbered person on the top and then it trickles down. Because...
we need a favorites bar or a...
how...
Because you're right, I follow probably a couple hundred people, but realistically, I'm only going to click 40 of them on most occasions, ever.
And then, I don't follow a lot of the bigger channels because I'll just literally type their URL in instead. I'm not gonna follow Dr. Disrespect because then he's always going to be at the top. I'm not going to follow Tim because he's always going to be at the top.
Yeah, I follow all those guys.
I keep them off of my follower list so that people that I interact with, like you and Cooch and Don and all those people are at the top, you know?
Yeah.
So that I know when they're live and I don't have to go to my followers list or followed list or whatever.
You heard it here first. I'm at the top of the list, so you know, on Twitch, on all of Twitch, I'm at the top of the list. So
we could treat it like our.
We did have Cooch join the stream, and he did ask. He knew I was gonna hit on a topic today because I kind of went over it a little bit in my stream because it was kind of big on Twitter recently, and he asked if we hit it yet. So we might as well get into it. Using your own emotes in other people's streams. How do you feel about it?
There's two very distinct, different versions of it that I see. So I don't mind it for the most part. But typically for the people that come around a lot, they're like part of the community. Like I've seen them before and maybe I visit their streams. So we're like kind of Twitch friends or whatever, you know? In that case, it doesn't bug me. But I don't really love it when someone pops in, you've never seen them before, and the first thing they do is just post emotes. Because it's like, hey, check out these emotes. People are going to get curious, hover over it, find out who it is, and that's kind of like advertising in a way in your channel.
Okay.
This channel exists without just streaming it from the rooftops and being like, hey, I stream as well, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I'll kind of name drop, not that it's a big deal, but I read it on Twitter. Summit is the one who talked about it this time, and he just kind of said he hates it. He hates it unless he knows you as a friend. Like he thinks it's self-promoting. He doesn't mind if you're a viewer that, like, let's say you're a viewer, you sub to Darth and you go in Summit's channel and you use Darth's emote. He doesn't care because you're not Darth. If Darth goes in and he uses like his hype emotes, he sees that as like self-promo. I mean, a viewer, you can't tell what to do, right? Like you're not self-promoting. You're
I can't control if you go somewhere and throw my emote out there. Right.
Right. I get where he's coming from. I think it's crazy he even cares. Like the dude's top of the, I guess he's live right now, 22K viewers, man. You know, I can post my emotes every 35 seconds and I'm not going to hit anywhere remotely near him. So he doesn't have, he's not, you know, I'm not a threat. Let's all be real. But I mean, I get where he's coming from. I only care personally. I've seen it a few times, very rarely ever, but like the people who just spam their emotes, like all of them, every emote they have for everything. I'm like, can we get some hype? All their emotes. I'm like, hey, say hello to Darth. He just joined the stream. All their emotes. Like, just they literally flood every message. They don't even ever talk. Emote. All their emotes.
Okay.
That I hate. If they're like, hey, and they have their own waving emote that they use, fine. If I say, hey, can we get some love, and they use their own heart emoji or love or whatever, fine. I mean, they got affiliate. They paid for some emotes. They're proud of them. Maybe those are the only emotes they have because they don't sub to anybody. They don't have money. I mean, I don't care, and I actually like emotes. I think they're cool. They're art. I like to click them. I like to see whose they are. I like to kind of admire them. I mean, it's fun, and like we said, I mean, if someone comes in my chat and posts their emotes and all my viewers go to that channel instead,
you're doing something massively wrong.
One emote pulled them away from my channel. I'm really failing that day.
I can see that. I mean, I agree with you. The artistic side of it's really cool. A lot of people are using Fiverr and stuff now, so it feels a little bit different than it used to on the artistic side, where you used to be like, oh man, who did your emotes? And they're like, oh, this other viewer in my chat. But now it's always like, oh, I got it on Fiverr, pretty much all the time.
See, I've never used Fiverr in my whole life to this day. So I've been on the site plenty. I mean, we almost debated commissioning them to see what they come up with for C2. So I've definitely dabbled in them. I don't hate Fiverr or anything. I just, like you said, I like that connection, or like knowing somebody in the community, being able to, somebody I want to hype up, somebody I want to show off their art. But I still, any emote, I don't know. I'm the streamer and I'm doing just chatting, and you come in, I've never even talked to you, and you put an emote, I immediately go, whose emote is that? And I click it, and then tell the whole stream whose channel it is, and I'm like talking about it for a minute. It doesn't bother me. I think it's cool. I
mean,
so, there's a lot of takes there,
I guess,
but I can't imagine getting mad and having 22K viewers.
Yeah,
every
that sounds
stream.
weird to me, but like I don't know. Like our discussion is kind of changing my thoughts a little bit. I mean, I guess what really would bug me is like you said, if there's no text in the conversation, there's no interacting with the community. Like an emote, while it does exude some kind of emotion, like a hype or a love or whatever, a high, you can't use those for literally every single piece of conversation. So you can't be like, what's your favorite, Twitch or YouTube? And they give you a hype emote. You're like, that what? No. So if as long as they're using it,
Yeah, like you doing today, and they're just emote, and it's like, what are you up to? Emote.
like, give me some, like, help me out here. Like, let's try to bring you into the conversation a little bit more. So I would say, if they're used tastefully, I guess, kind of like emoji, honestly. Like, if someone, my kids are notorious for this. They have iPads now, and like their language is emojis, and I'm like, type something, like say something. I don't know what this means. Like, it means something to you, but not to me. So use words, and.
Right. Well, them and their friends all know exactly.
Yeah,
what
because
it means,
well,
right?
because every once in a while, Samantha will be at the table and she'll be on her chat, and I'll just see just emojis all over the whole entire chat, and I'm like, I wouldn't be able to know what's happening in that whole entire conversation. I don't know.
I have to stop this conversation for a second because nerdy corn girl in our chat wrote, "What is fiber?"
Oh, I see it. Yeah, fiber.
Like the food, like you go fiber in your diet, and then Cooch points out fiver with a V, and then explained what it is, and she said, "I don't know these new things kids use these days." This is not a TikTok. Fiverr's been around, probably.
It's been around for a long time.
10 years, probably. Yeah, it's been a while. It's not just art, but you go on there and the typical is you pay $5 and you get a piece of art, a video, a voice recording, a video edited, some sort of like digital.
So I was talking about the fact that I still have this desire to do voiceover work. And I want to say it was Chimpy, I think, that was like, you should just put out download someone's random script from the internet, do a voiceover, and throw it up there and see if someone bites on Fiverr. And I went up there to check, and I'm like, yeah, these people actually starts at $5. I'll read 500 words for $5, and then it goes like 250 words, and or it just climbs from there based on how many words you're gonna read. And I'm like, maybe I could do that, but like I posted myself to Fiverr and I do transitions, and I got nothing. I literally got 0 inquiries whatsoever, and I'm like, okay, well, I guess this isn't my world. I didn't put a ton of effort in, I just posted it and put a little demo reel up there and all that stuff, but I'm like, maybe this just isn't my world. I don't know. But Fiverr's cool. I mean, it's a great way as a freelance artist, it's a great way for you to get yourself out there for sure. Because being like a freelancer like that is hard work. Have you ever done any freelance style work for anything like that?
Not really. Unfortunately, I don't have any of those skills that really would make sense on something like that. I mean, I don't do graphic design, animation. I guess I could do maybe some like voiceover work. I don't really do a ton of I can't sound like, Donald Duck or anything. I could do Woody the Woodpecker laugh. That's about it.
Let's hear that.
If anybody needs the Woody the
Let's hear that.
For the podcast. I could probably do better.
Someone clip that, please.
So, if you want to put on Fiverr that if you need the Woody the Woodpecker laugh or just like a maniacal laugh, I got you covered. Anything else, I'm You know what's funny about this voiceover discussion is because when we were talking about making YouTube videos, we talked about how much we hated scripts. And then we're like, maybe some voiceover work where we have to read off of a script, and that's it. Yeah, I guess you're right.
I think it would be different, though.
I guess if you think of like a character, though, it'd be like a sentence, right? It'd be like one sentence, and then you'd end recording, and then you'd one sentence and record. Like probably it. Like, I don't think you'd read
and
a
it's
book
also, I
all
guess
in
I
one
would
sitting.
consider it to be a little different because you aren't what's on camera. Like and let's say we're doing a cartoon or a game or something. It's like you see the character
Right.
and then you can kind of change your voice inflection a little bit. Whereas like when you're doing the scripts on YouTube, you're supposed to be yourself, but you kind of don't feel like you're being yourself.
Right.
So I guess that would probably work out. Or at least that's what I'm trying to convince myself of. I don't know.
I think that's the thing with the YouTube videos. I always feel like I'm fake, like in the moment. Like, I don't know how to act all of a sudden. I don't know who I am anymore. I'm like, how do I talk again? What do I do with my face?
What do I do with my hands? From Talladega Nights. Oh, that's a great scene. Oh, man.
But yeah, so I've never freelanced. I've done like contract work, but that's a different side of things.
Because if you think about it, freelance work is micro contracts, really. So you're just doing this little chunk of work for this little period of time. But man, I tried it for a long time, and it's hard. It's hard, really hard. Like I owned my own web company for a while where I was doing websites. Yeah, air quotes. And basically, I got an LLC so that, I could register everything under a business and all that great stuff. And then I just started trying to promote to local businesses because I wanted to do local stuff. And no one cared. No matter how much better their website could be, because I'd go investigate and I'd give them like a little proposal with everything in it in the mail and all that stuff. And just no one cared at all, ever. And I'm like, ugh.
I've actually read a little bit about that. And it's like you can tell them it's better all day, but unless you tell them how it's going to make them more money, they don't care, right? So you need that marketing side of your brain to like actually get any of these people to care. Because like you just say, you have a website, I'll make it better. They're like, I already have one, man, and I'm fine. But if you're like, if I do this, this, and this, and I can show you the analytics of yada, yada, and you're going to get twice as many, people seeing your site, and, you go off about actual data, they're more inclined to care. But I don't think that's like side of the intro. That's not what you care about, really.
Ancient calls me out and he says, mail? Yeah, that's hard. This was like 13 years ago when I started this business. So back in those days, mail was still like kind of legit. Yeah. Back in my day,
we used to mail.
We used to mail brochures to companies. I don't know why we all went with the accent version of ourselves in the.
Yeah. Why do you get an accent when you get old, as your older voice, air quotes? That is funny. I notice that with a lot of things. Like anything you try to act out, you put on this voice, even though it could
it's
just
supposed
be
to be like
voice.
You as you're older, but all of a sudden it's like this old lady voice for some reason. You're like, why did I turn into an old lady when I get older? What happened there?
Yeah. What did I do? Who knows? But yeah. So anyway. I tried a new game today. I'm sure some people have heard of it.
This is kind of funny. Is I saw you posted into Squad Up in C2, and you go, "Is anyone playing Crucible today?" And I'm like, "Oh, Noodles wants to play Destiny with some people." Didn't even like dawn on me. It's this new game. How'd you like?
Whenever I write it, that's all I think about because obviously, I've spent hundreds of hours in the Crucible, and this is called the Crucible or Crucible.
I think it's just Crucible.
Not the. I'm doing the old person thing. This is called Crucible.
The Crucibles.
The Crucibles, yeah. So Crucible. I tried it today. At noon, it went like pre-release, and then at 3:31 or so, it was supposed to be 3, but it was late. It went live for everybody on Steam. I actually got in early because I found out about it like an hour before it went live on that pre-release. Saw a streamer say doing code releases on in my chat. They said it on Twitter, and I was like one of the first 50 people to watch the guy.
Okay.
And the first time he did a giveaway, he typed 2 codes in chat. I literally copied the first one. I already had my Activate product open, and it worked. And I was like, yes. Never happened to me in my whole life. That never works. Like there's always like some bot or some person with like the fastest hands on the planet that just like Control C, Control D, and they're like so fast at it. They're ninjas, man. They steal all the codes.
I tried to get a free copy of Squad at one point, so for like 30 days straight, they were giving away codes on their Twitter, and I found out the formula. I found out how they were scheduling it, so I was like, I'm gonna get one of these for sure. Every single day, could never get it. It was gone. One day, I was able to copy it within 5 seconds of their posting, and I still didn't get it. I'm like, there's no way. It's impossible.
It's bots, man. They built scripts to do all that stuff, so
Yeah,
you
it's
can't
impossible. But how'd you like the game?
But yeah, so I did get one. I loaded in at 12:30 because I was watching Tim do that video reveal, and then I did the tutorial. I played one game by myself. I played some. Anybody remember Street Sharks?
Street Sharks.
90s TV show. It's like kind of like Ninja Turtles, but they were sharks that had like rollerblades and rode skateboards.
There was a photo
and stuff.
posted in C2 community today.
Yes, in the middle of Gen Chat. That was Nellie's TV. Thank you so much. So with those guys, they I played basically that, like a character that looked like that. He has a big axe, and you're a melee character. It's basically, how do I want to describe this game? You have abilities very similar to like Overwatch, but the game mode is kind of MOBA-ish. If anyone's familiar with like League of Legends type style, like there's 3 game modes. I only played 1, but there's like 5 towers. You capture any tower you want, and that tower gives you some sort of benefit.
Like
it gives
power
you
up
more
or something, or
energy, or gives you more health, like more health, or and kind of like the traditional like MOBA type stuff. It's not actually like a MOBA, but it kind of is. You kill ads, you get leveled up for that game, but only that one game, by killing ads, and then your level ups give you new like perks that you already know you're gonna get. Like they're predetermined by your character. You can change a few of them, but still just for that one character, like heal when you do this attack or whatever. And so you're killing mobs as fast as you can to try to level up. And then when you see players, you're hoping that you outplay them, and potentially you're just stronger because you killed more mobs faster.
So it's
and we played 4v4.
PvPvE.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, like the mobs are easy. No one dies from the mobs really. Like the mobs are just the ads, the trash mob, whatever you want to call them. The PvE stuff. They spawn. They take 10 seconds to kill whatever pops out of the ground. You get a little bit of level, up to 5 levels. And the mode we were playing was like a heart. This big hive monster would appear. That takes a little longer to kill. When it dies, it drops its heart. Whichever team captures that heart gets a point. First to 3 points wins the round. So first game I played, I actually played very well. I got like 5 kills. I died once. We still lost. We got like no hearts, I think. My team just wasn't picking up hearts. Doesn't matter. It was fun. I felt slow. The world felt a little empty, as odd as that is. Like there was mobs, but not often enough, I felt. And I just felt like I was running a lot, and the characters are like generally slow, kinda. A lot of them don't have like a ton of mobility. There's a few of them that are very fast, but for the most part, they're kind of slow. If anything, they get faster as you level up.
Makes sense.
So I just felt like I was running around a lot, and I just kind of chalked it up to I'm not playing with friends, right? It's a multiplayer game. I'm new to it, and I'm not playing with anybody. So I waited till it went live for real. The whole time I was waiting, I tried every single character in the practice range, so I could figure out all their abilities, see who I actually like. Because it's just like any other game, you kind of like level them up to unlock skins and yada yada.
Typical free to play.
It's got the Overwatch.
Yeah.
Yes, it's got the Overwatch category, kind of where you can like look at all the skins and all their emotes and yada yada. And it has a battle pass because it's free to play.
That's the only way they make money, yeah.
If you play between now and I think it's June 2nd, don't quote me on the date, you get 1,000, I don't know, coins, V-Bucks, epic treasure, whatever the heck it's called. You get credits. It's enough to get the first battle pass for free, which is $9.50, just like basically every other game. So you end up with 50 extra for free between now and June 2nd. So you get the first battle pass for free. And of course, if you finish, I think if you get to level 42, it only goes to 80, oddly enough. You get to 42, I think I calculated, you can afford the next battle pass without spending any money.
Okay.
So basically, if you get it between now and June 2nd, you could have every battle pass ever and never have spent a dime in the game.
So what is the monetization method then? Is it just buying loot boxes?
It still had skins. It had skins, and it had skins, and like you have a pod you drop down on, and you could put like stickers on the pod and stuff like that. So they had stuff that you could buy and you could not get in the battle pass, of course. So I'm sure. I mean, I sat there and like I wasn't gonna do it, but I half debated buying like one of the $10 skins almost right out the gate because it was like the coolest skin for the character I thought I'd like. And I was like, no, that's stupid. Like, A, I just got laid off. B, I had played this game for 5 minutes. This could be one of those games I play for 3 days and never touch again. I delete.
My total playtime could be 5 more minutes. Who knows, right? Now, is it
right? So I will wait.
Is it full release or is it like early release, early access stuff, or is it like?
As far as I know, it's full release as of 3 p.m. Eastern, noon Western. Like it's full release on Steam.
That's
free
interesting.
To play. It's made by Amazon.
So weird.
You know, Amazon, like Jeff Bezos owns Twitch, owns whatever. That Amazon. Very odd. They're also making an MMO.
I feel like it's weird that they went with Amazon Gaming instead of Twitch Gaming. They didn't associate with the streaming platform that they own. You know, that seems odd to me.
I think they just picked their platform that's bigger, right? Even though Twitch is like very successful, I mean, Amazon is why Jeff Bezos is worth what he's worth, and I mean, they're saying he might be the first trillionaire ever. So, Twitch is not why he's going to be the first trillionaire. It's Amazon. Twitch is like, probably a drop in the bucket at that point. So it's why, but I agree with you. I think if it was me, I would have been like, well, Twitch gaming, because Twitch is more gaming than Amazon.
Yeah, I don't know. That seems odd. Well,
but anyway, Amazon Gaming. It wasn't bad. I played with Musey Shell from C2. I played with my buddy Nolly's TV in chat, and I played with Postal, my Destiny.
Do you feel like it'll be a
pal? And we had a.
Do you think it'll stick around in your gaming library?
I don't know. I played 3 games. Got my butt handed to me the last 2.
Okay.
Like, badly. Part of it was, it was Postal's first game. It was Nolly's first game. UC's like second game. Whatever. It was my second game. Sure. We were all new. Figuring out characters, controls, settings, whatever. But people felt really good. I feel like, I wonder if we faced group because we were in a group. You know how like a lot of games, if you bring your own team, you kind of face
you're not gonna
who also did the same.
Face a random queue.
But yeah, well, like I think the last game we played, our person with the most damage had almost half the damage of their lowest damage person. Like they were trashing on us. Like we were just dead the whole game.
They were beating up.
So obviously not enjoyable at that point, really. I will give it more go. I will especially if anyone in C2 or you or whatever want to give it a go, I'd be more than happy to jump in and see what you guys think. But I don't know. I don't know if it's gonna stick around. I don't know if I haven't even really seen a ton of hype. I saw people playing it just because I know some people were doing a hashtag ad
of course.
Today. Tim, Lupo, all those guys were doing like an ad version of it.
Yeah.
I don't even know if they enjoyed it because I didn't get to watch.
I mean, I'll be honest, but I didn't even know about it until you said Crucible in the squad up, and I just thought you were talking about Destiny, and I was like, wait, because then the following comments, I was like, he's not talking about Destiny. What's going on here? So I looked it up, and I was like, okay.
I saw it in an ad, I think. But I forgot about it until today on Twitter when I saw the guy say he was giving codes in his chat, and I was like, "Oh, I don't play a game."
Isn't that funny? Anytime I see someone's like, "I'm giving codes to this brand new game," I'm like, "I don't even know if I'm gonna like it, but I'm gonna go try to get a code. I don't care. I'm going."
Yeah, it was like Valorant, right? Like everybody was getting a code for it
just because it was like the thing to do. I don't know. Actually, since you brought it up, do you still play Valorant? I think a lot of people are.
I don't think I play.
A lot of people are saying they're like, "I'm just bored of it. Like it's." Got nothing to offer.
So that's interesting because I do see still people streaming it. A lot of the Destiny community went over to Valorant because Destiny's quiet right now, and for some, I don't know why. I don't know why that's like why that's the game everybody chose. So I still see it often, but yeah,
that's kind of weird that like the people that I follow and pay attention to, I'm like, oh, I see that everyone's kind of bored with it and moving on from it, and you're like, that's not what I'm seeing. It's like completely polar opposite opinions just based on like the community that we surround ourselves with. That's interesting.
There are 4 people in my followed channels right now, all with over 500 viewers playing Valorant. So I mean, the game still has interest.
Well, I mean, I mean, CS:GO. Do you think it'll ever make a dent in CS:GO since it was kind of like almost a clone, just with some Overwatch powers and stuff?
You would think. Like, I never played CS:GO, and I would play Valorant again, and I don't know if I'll ever play CS:GO.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't seem super special to me because I've tried it, of course, because CS:GO was the big PC game, you know, and me coming over to PC. So I gave it a shot, but I was like, meh. Like, it never...
I think I like abilities, you know? Like, I was an Overwatch fan. I'm a Destiny fan. I was, you know, I thought Apex was cool, even though I barely played it. So to me, it fit that style that I kind of like, that like a little bit of magic-y, like... Where CS:GO is just shoot. It's kind of the Call of Duty version of Valorant, right? Yeah. Like, and I don't hate Call of Duty. I kind of always jokingly hate on it because it's one of those games you almost have to hate if you're in gaming.
That's why it felt so weird for me to be like, I really like Call of Duty, and I'm like, oh no.
That's my favorite. Yeah, but it's still Call of Duty has never been my game. Like, no one will ever put me and Call of Duty together. So I mean. CS:GO is not comparable to COD's danger, but so the comparison there was not that they're similar playstyles. The comparison there was CS:GO uses basically just guns. Call of Duty, besides kill streaks, basically just uses
it's like modern day weaponry,
like very actual. I know, like you said, real weapons, army style type stuff. Where Valorant, Overwatch, Destiny, I mean. I can like put ice walls in Valorant to block people. I can't do that in real life. Maybe somebody else can. I definitely can't. I teleport. You know, you can do all sorts of crazy things. That was the only comparison there. Not that CS:GO and Call of Duty are the same. You know what I can't
wait for is another Battlefield game, like a really, really good Battlefield game.
I only played 3. And
I liked 3 and 4, and then everything after that, when they went back to World Wars, I'm not really a fan of going back in time like that. So they lost me on that one. The best one I've ever played was Bad Company 2. That was my favorite one.
Okay.
But I would like that to come back.
Yeah, once again, 2 shooters playing very different shooter games.
We've talked about that a couple times. It's so funny. Because I like the military style stuff, you know, the Call of Duties, the Battlefields, you know, which is surprising I don't like CS:GO.
I like them, but I'm a sci-fi guy, yeah.
Well, we're right about at that hour and a half mark that we like to stick around, so we're going to wrap up this episode today.
Before we bore you.
You know, as usual, give us a follow on Twitter, GG Weekly Podcast, and, you know, if you guys have some stuff that you want to talk about, throw it at us. You know, sometimes we come up with a bunch of topics that don't really naturally flow into the conversation, but if there's something that you guys want to hear out there, let us know. You can either let us know in the C2 Creator Discord, you can let us know on Twitter, you can DM us, however you want. But, yeah, let us know what you want to hear, and we'll be back at this next week. Yeah, I don't know why our bot's broken all of a sudden.
At least I think it is. Oh, no, it's working now. So there's all our links. If you're live here, you can subscribe anywhere on any, you know, listening platform or YouTube, which will have the VOD if you want to actually see our faces. Twitch will have our VOD for like, I don't know, sometimes 14 days, sometimes 30.
Yeah, I'm not really sure either. I just grab it right after this so we don't miss it. But podcasting platforms, if you just put the podcasting platform in front of ggweeklypodcast.com, so like itunes.ggweeklypodcast, spotify.ggweeklypodcast, etc. We're out there. But hey, this was a good talk, Justin.
I think so, yeah. Real quick, keep an eye on our Twitter for sure. That's we're going to try to update people. I've been hitting up fellow podcasters that I have some sort of relationship with. We're hoping to get our first guest within the next few weeks. I was kind of hoping next week, but I haven't nailed anybody down. So
and we'll specifically keep an eye out on our Twitter for those, because if our scheduling conflicts and stuff like that, but we still want to have this guest on, we may move the podcast, the live broadcast of it to another day. So the way to get a hold of that.
Yes, one of my friends who does it, they also go live on Wednesday, like half hour before us. So one of the two podcasts has to switch times. We're kind of okay with being,
since we're the newbies.
Able to switch.
We're the newbies.
We're the newbies, so move aside. We'll let them take the reins. But yeah, thanks everybody.
If you're in chat,
obviously stick around.
Yeah, stick around. We'll raid, and we'll see you guys next week, 8 p.m. live on Twitch. Good night.